The small alley where Henry's family lived was always a playground filled with laughter. To Henry, every toy and every prank was a new discovery. However, the shared space of the neighborhood is like a large living room shared by everyone. Dad Thomas remains a calm fortress, using his steadiness to protect order and safety, while Mom Mary is a stream of empathy, using sweet storytelling to teach Henry to care about the comfort of those around him. One afternoon, Henry brought his red four-wheeled bicycle, several toy trucks, and a large Lego set into the middle of the alley. Immersed in building his own city, Henry left his toys scattered, taking up the entire shared path. When a neighbor returned home on a motorbike, he had to stop from afar, struggling to lead the bike around the obstacles to avoid stepping on the boys' toys. Dad Thomas was standing on the porch seeing this. He walked out to the alley. He did not raise his voice at all, but simply knelt quietly and began to gather the toy trucks into a corner against their fence. His eyebrows furrowed just a little, his eyes showing a serious but very warm look. He slightly pressed his lips together, waited for the neighbor to pass, and then knelt next to Henry, his voice steady. "Henry, this path is the bridge connecting our home with the neighbors' homes. By leaving your toys here, you are breaking everyone's bridge." Mom Mary came out, sat on the grass next to her son, and led Henry closer to the toys. Her eyes crinkled with overflowing love. She whispered in a soothing voice, "My dear Henry, did you see how hard the neighbor had to work to get his bike passed just now? Imagine if you were very excited to run out to play and the path was completely blocked by large crates. Would you be annoyed?" Henry looked down at the toy trucks, murmuring, "Yes, it would be very in the way." "That is right, my love." Mom Mary gently stroked his hair. "The alley belongs to everyone, so everyone needs a clear path to get home safely. Your toys are very beautiful, but they will be happier being played with in the yard or against the wall. A polite explorer always knows to clear the path for everyone. Do you want to help Daddy put these toy friends away neatly?" Mom's reminder helped Henry understand. The boy quickly helped his father tidy up the toys, returning the clear path to the neighborhood. Dad Thomas nodded slightly, his eyes sparkling with satisfaction. After a rain shower, Henry found a small mud puddle in the alley. He excitedly took a plastic bucket, scooped up the muddy water, and stirred it up with his hands. In his excitement, Henry swung the bucket hard, splashing mud all over the iron gate and the pristine white wall of the neighbor across the street. Dad Thomas stepped over, reaching out to catch the plastic bucket before Henry could splash again. His face was serene, his eyes showing a serious reminder. He blinked slowly, looked at the soiled wall and then at his son. His voice mild but firm. "Henry, muddy water is fun on the ground, but it hurts the neighbor's clean wall if it gets splashed on there." Mom Mary brought a warm towel and knelt beside Henry. Her eyes shone with tolerance. She gently explained, "Henry, do you remember when I just washed your superhero shirt? If someone had thrown mud at your shirt then, would you be sad and miss the beautiful shirt?" Henry nodded, his lips pressing together slightly. "I would be very sad because the shirt would be all dirty." "The neighbor's wall is just like the shirt of the house." Mom Mary gently stroked his cheek. "He has spent a lot of time keeping the gate and the wall always white and clean. Your mud makes the house dirty and he will have to work very hard to clean it. A brave boy is someone who knows how to fix what he accidentally broke. Now, do you want to get the hose and a brush with Daddy and we will help him clean this wall?" Mom's analysis helped Henry realize his mistake. He stopped playing in the mud and excitedly helped Dad Thomas rescue the wall. Seeing the wall white and clean again, Henry felt much happier than when he was playing in the mud. Dad Thomas gently rubbed his son's head, his smile dispelling all tension. In a quiet afternoon, Henry brought his bubble wand out to the yard. He blew hundreds of shimmering rainbow spheres. The gentle breeze carried the bubbles over the fence, drifting into the neighbor's window where the family was gathered for a meal. The bubbles landed on the dining table, perching on chairs and leaving sticky marks on the furniture. Dad Thomas was sitting nearby reading the newspaper. Seeing the wind carrying the bubbles toward the neighbor's house, he stood up and walked to Henry's side. He gently placed his hand on the bubble bottle, his eyebrows furrowed just a little, his expression very solemn. He let out a gentle sigh, his voice deep and clear. "Henry, bubbles are very beautiful in the sky, but they become troublesome guests if they fly into someone else's home while they are having a meal. Mom Mary came out, sat on the steps, and pulled Henry into her lap. Her eyes crinkled with overflowing love. She spoke in a mild voice. "Dear Henry, do you see the bubble friends visiting the neighbor's house through the window? Soap bubbles are very sticky when they pop and will ruin the food. Think about it, if you were eating a delicious bowl of chicken soup and suddenly soap bubbles fell into the bowl, would you still want to eat?" Henry imagined a bowl of soup full of soap suds and shook his head vigorously. No, the soup would be bitter and dirty. "That is right, my love." Mom Mary smiled and stroked his tiny hand. "Everyone's mealtime is a time for deliciousness and privacy. Your bubbles are unintentionally bothering everyone. We are polite neighbors. We will choose a different wind direction or stay inside our yard to blow them, so that the bubbles only bring joy to you, okay?" Henry understood. He obediently pulled back the bubble bottle, turning toward his own flower garden to continue blowing. He even carefully checked if the bubbles were flying into anyone else's house. Dad Thomas smiled, his eyes sparkling with pride because Henry had learned to observe and think of others. The outing in the alley ended with gentle lessons about kindness and respect for shared space.